Hi, mums and dads. Welcome back to another episode of The Natural Dog Mum. Today we're here with animal naturopath and nutritionist Prue from Whiskey's Animal Goods Store in Coolum Beach. Thanks for coming. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, I'm really keen to talk to you about your background because I understand you're trained in both naturopathy and nutrition for humans and animals. So, do you want to tell
Yes.
us a little bit more about your background and how you got started in the space?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, basically grew up, as we just spoke about, country Victoria. We actually had a health food shop growing up. So mum was into, yeah, we were into healthy eating. We were into all that sort of stuff growing up, which was very fortunate. Also into sports. And we had a menagerie of animals. So we had dogs, we had deer, we had birds, we had chooks, we had guinea fowl, we had all sorts of things growing up. We were always surrounded by animals. And it was an amazing. So had a passion for both pets and health at that stage, at an early stage. Um, I wanted to be a vet. I progressed further and I started studies in agriculture in uni when I graduated from high school. And I went, oh, this isn't quite for me. I don't think I can put animals down, but there's somewhere in there. So then I actually did sports science. Following on from that, I started working. Well, I'd been working in pharmacy through my teenage years, so I knew that field. Got back into pharmacy and I was working in the health food side. So I was studying naturopathy then, human naturopathy. Then I worked for a major vitamin company. So I was doing a lot of research for them as well into human studies and so human naturopathy, human nutrition, and I'd done sports science as well at that point. And fast forward a bit, don't want to give too much away about age, but anyway, fast forward a bit, and there was a phase that I wasn't able to have dogs. So then when we were able to actually adopt, we adopted Whiskey from RSPCA, hence the name of the store. And at that point, so much had changed in dog food and the way that we fed dogs and the way that we understood them that I wanted to understand a lot more. And what we found is when we adopted Whiskey, there wasn't a lot of help. Like we were going into the majors and asking the questions and trying to find out what was best for him, not knowing what breed he was or anything, because of course it's just a Staffy cross. So we ended up doing a DNA test to find out, but trying to find out what was best for him, what was the best way to feed him. And we just kept getting back. It doesn't really matter. All the kibbles are the same. We had a lot of that. And it's just about flavor or it's just about texture. It's just whatever your dog will eat. It's fine. They're all the same. It doesn't make a difference anyway. And we weren't satisfied with that. And we were actually very frustrated by that. So we started doing our own research. That led to, I don't know, you've probably heard of the book Forever Dog. Read that a few times. Brilliant book. And that just was such an eye opener. And I was kind of like, why? Because I knew that there was a lot of crossover between humans and pets at that point. And I did apply certain things from my human naturopathy to our pets when they were unwell or if they were injured or anything like that. I could help them that way. And so then I did more studies into animal nutrition and animal naturopathy and the whole raw feeding revolution, and it just all kind of clicked. And at the same time, my husband and I were looking at getting out of where we were working and starting our own thing. And a business opportunity came up that was a rural produce, actually. And so we were looking at that, but it sold to someone else in the time that we were looking at it. We went, you know what? We love our pets. We love what we do with them. We want to share our knowledge. We've got all this knowledge and we want to actually help people. So in a similar vein to like when I was a naturopath working in pharmacy, we wanted to set that kind of thing up in a pet store. So people could come for real advice, not just stock standard. And we actually, we care about our customers' pets. We want them to have their best life because pets make life better. That's our motto. That's our thing. The only thing they really do wrong is they pass too fast. They don't live long enough. And they give so much their heart and soul to us, and their lives are entirely dependent on how we treat them, how we feed them, what we do to them. They don't get the choices. It's like, as you said, it's like our kids. They don't get choice. Kids grow up and then they get to decide down the track their own lives and what they're going to do. Our pets don't. They're completely our responsibility, their whole life. And so it's our job as pet parents to give them the best that we can based on finances, based on knowledge, and also based on our moral compass, based on our understandings. So even if it's, 10% better than what you're doing at the moment, 20% better, introduce more raw food, introduce fruits, introduce different types of foods. And do your research on what you're actually putting into their bodies, because in the world of kibble even, there is huge variation in the quality of it. So if you are a kibble feeder, do the best that you can with that and add some raw in, add some other bits and pieces in, really learn about the nutrition and listen to your pet as well. If they've got something going on, if they're getting upset or if they're getting itchy or if they're getting repetitive conditions like a cat getting repeated UTI or a dog with constantly itchy skin or sensitivities or biting and licking their paws, find out what it is and really start with the gut health. That kind of went past the whole give us the background and kept going.
No, but everything you're saying is exactly what I'm trying to get across to people. It's so important. And that leads me into my next question, which was, can you talk about some of the more common health issues or problems that owners are presenting with? What's happening out there? What's happening with our dogs, and what do people need to be doing more of?
Absolutely. So I guess it's with the feeding, it's the same as us. So in humans, we're seeing an increase in sensitivities, an increase in allergies, an increase in asthma, and we're going, what is going on? What is going on? There also just happens to be a corresponding increase in environmental pollution. There's an increase in noise pollution. There's an increase in light pollution. There's increased use of antibiotics. There's increased use of other medications. There's increased processed food. There's all these other things that bodies are taking on every day, and our bodies don't know how to process all that information properly on a biochemical level. And it's the same with our pets. Like, our pets are living in our environments. So if we've got pesticides and things around the house that we're using, they're absorbing that. And even more so because their paws on the ground. So their raw paws on the ground, and they're absorbing everything on the ground through their paws as well. And I think sometimes we don't think about those sorts of things. And so we get quite a lot of people coming in with allergies. And the first thing I'll say is, if it's a new allergy, like if they're suddenly starting to lick their paws, if it's just on their face, if it's just on a certain part of their body, what's changed in the household? Because quite often something will have changed in the household. For example, I had someone come in and they had their face of the dog and its front paws had just all of a sudden got really, really itchy. And I said, has anything changed? No, nothing's changed. And I said, are you sure nothing's changed in the yard? There's no new trees. There's nothing new flowering. You haven't planted anything new. And he goes, oh, there's mulch. We mulched a tree and it's in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. And I said, the number of bugs and things, it could be bites, it could be anything living in that mulch that your dog's now, sorry, getting into.
Yeah.
And it's affecting it. So there's one part of it. If it's an ongoing, if it's a chronic, if it's been going for a long time, then we're really looking at diet and what is happening inside this dog's body. What are you feeding it? Are you feeding it the same thing? So, for example, if you're feeding it the exact same kibble every day in, day out of its life, it's not getting any extra nutrition. It's getting what is in that pack. It's not getting any variety. It's not getting a full nutritional profile. And anyway, I don't care what it says on the pack. There is no perfect dry dog food that will give the dog 100% of its nutritional needs. On top of that, every dog is different. Some are more active, some are less active. We all have sensitivities to different things. Chicken sensitivity is a huge one in dogs and ever increasing. We're getting a lot of people coming in with chicken sensitivities, and also how much grain is in the dog food, because it's not necessary. And a lot of these dog foods start with either rice or some other grain, and then go into, I was looking at one the other day, and then it went into meat byproducts, and then it was something else. And I was just like, and salt. And read the pack. Please read the pack. If it starts with a grain, it is not great, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
If it starts with a meat, brilliant. The less processed it is, the more slow cooked it is, the better. So then we're looking at the food that it's giving, looking at increasing the raw food that it's getting, increasing the nutritional profile by variety. Like we know with humans, we're not eating enough veggies and, the government's onto us. You're not getting your veggies in. You're not getting this in. We have those 5 food groups that we're supposed to get in. We have certain amounts that we're supposed to take in. And everyone's heard about them. It's been drilled into our heads. Why isn't that happening with our pets?
Mm.
Why aren't we going, okay, your dog actually needs a certain amount of different varieties of foods. It actually does need it. And then the other thing is probiotics. We sell a lot of probiotics because about 70-80% of the dog's immune system, of their health, comes from their gut biome. And it's funny because naturopathically speaking, we have known for years and years the gut-brain association. And yet I was just hearing studies the other day. Oh, yeah, there's a new study out that there could be a link between the dog's gut and their brain.
Could be.
So if their gut's not healthy, their brain's not going to be overly healthy. They could be foggy. It could come in different ways. And I went, do you think this is stuff we've known in humans? And I know even naturopaths are still in some sectors thought of as, hippie-ish. It's
Woo-woo.
It's not. Yeah, it's woo-woo. It's woo-woo. But it's not. And our pets even teach us that. I was only talking to someone the other day using homeopathics on our pets. They have no ability to placebo. There is no placebo effect in our dogs. So when we use rescue remedy to calm them down during a storm, that's really, really working. That's proving that homeopathics work. That's proof that these natural products work. When we have customers come back, I had one the other day and she goes, oh, its rash all over its stomach has completely healed up because we started probiotics.
There you go.
Proof that it works because the dog isn't doing anything else. They're not going and putting creams on themselves.
Exactly. I think the important message to get across as well, which I'm sure is something you're talking to your customers about every day. I mean, probiotics are very, very important, play a key role. But what people also need to remember is if you're feeding, our 10 food and you're feeding, Lucky Dog or the cheaper supermarket stuff, and you add probiotics to an already poor, low in nutrients diet, it's like trying to put out a forest fire with a single bucket of water. It's not going to fix the problem. You need to be looking at the combination. Probiotics, yes, but work on making improvements to the diet where you can as well. You need both of those things working together to really heal the gut.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually been impressed because we don't keep canned dog food. I won't. And we've only had a handful of people probably ask for it, which is good. Our biggest selling foods are definitely the raw, well and above anything else, which is so
That's good.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And no, it's it's actually really quite impressive, which is good because it has changed a lot in the last 10 years. From our knowledge base has changed.
Yeah.
As
And the other thing for
you,
people to remember too, I mean, when we say feed raw or feed fresh, it doesn't mean you've got to spend hours in the kitchen and try and do it all by hand. There are so many fantastic products now that make it super easy. And if you can't feed, a fully fresh diet for whatever the reason is, that's okay. Try replacing, say, 20% of your kibble, with
exactly.
some nice meaty bones, some fresh meat, some leftover veg from dinner. Even those little changes really help.
Make a huge difference. And you just reminded me, the next biggest is teeth. We get
Yes.
people eat teeth because they're getting told by vets. I'm not going to say all vets because it's never a blanket statement, but we get a number coming in. Our vet told us that we shouldn't feed bones, we shouldn't feed chicken necks, we shouldn't feed turkey necks or anything like that in case of swallowing or splintering and then they're paying $600 to get the dog's teeth cleaned.
Mm-mm.
And having bones a couple of times a week can literally cleanse like 90% of the tartar build up.
Exactly.
And
But it's
there are other
also
it's
giving
healthy.
people advice, I think, on the right kind of bones as well. I think people get very confused. I mean, things like chicken frames, chicken necks, turkey necks are amazing for their tummy and they're great for massaging and cleaning the gums, but they're not going to remove tartar. You need something like roux, beef, lamb to do that. And if people are worried about splinter, I mean, it's generally not a problem as long as you're feeding them raw. And look, the other rule is keep an eye on your dog when they're chewing a bone. If it's getting down to the point where it's getting a little bit too small, take it away.
Way.
Take it
Yep.
away if you're worried. And with my guys, because I've got retrievers, so they're a good sized dog, don't give them anything that's too little. Chicken necks don't work for my dogs because they can swallow it whole without chewing it. So I go
Yes.
for wings or frames where they do have to chew it and break it down. And when I'm getting them lamb necks or beef marrow bones and that kind of thing, go for something that's a decent size. My rule of thumb is go for something that's close to the size of the dog's head.
I was about to say it's the size of the dog's head or a bit bigger. No smaller.
Exactly. So you've got way less risk of anything, of choking or anything else happening, and keep an eye on them. So once they chew it down to a point where you're thinking, I don't like the look of that, that could potentially cause a problem, you take it away and it goes in the bin or it goes in the compost or whatever you're doing. It's not rocket science.
Yeah. Or else there's wood chews as well. Coffee wood is another good one.
Fantastic product.
Coffee wood, yep.
Absolutely amazing.
Totally natural. Really, yeah. They're good
And
too.
does
If they're
not
worried,
splinter.
it breaks down slowly over time.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And there's a new product out. I'm actually interviewing the founder in the next couple of weeks. Have you heard of Kelpie Bone?
No.
It's a similar product to the coffee wood in that it's sustainable and it doesn't splinter, but it's actually made from kelp. So it's actually good for them.
So that's also going to work like the sprinkled kelp that we use on top of foods to help alkalize and also soften the brilliant. I like
Cleaning
that.
the tartar off the teeth, it's massaging and cleaning the gums. It doesn't smell or stain your soft furnishings in the house. And when they're done chewing on it, when they're done with it, you throw it in the compost and it's biodegradable. It's absolutely genius. It's just genius. And the young woman who started this brand she's just so clever. She actually works as an environmental consultant as well. And she advises companies about how they can leave a smaller environmental footprint. And she's just started this business on the side. I'll send you her details. It's amazing.
That'd be cool. Because that's the other thing is even with, so I'm cautious sometimes about not pure raw feeding, but when people are just buying raw food and nothing else, I always go, are you giving them something to crunch? Like, are you giving them bones? Because sometimes they're actually not, they're trying so hard to do the right thing. Go, I'm doing the raw food, I'm doing this, but they're not getting anything for their jaws to even work. It's just if it's all soft, they're not getting any workout, I guess, in their jaw, and they're not getting anything to clean their teeth. So then we're all weakening as well as the dentition breaking down.
Yep. On top of that, it's a form of enrichment. It relaxes them. It calms them down. It's very satisfying for them. It's so important on so many levels, not to mention all the money you're going to save at the vet having teeth cleaned if you're having problems later on. I mean, that's one thing I'm very strict on with my guys. They get something to chew on a couple of times a week minimum. And anytime I go to the vet, the first thing that they do is they will comment on how clean and how white their teeth are. And I'm well, there's a reason for that.
Exactly the same. We had that conversation with our vet recently. And he's like, what do you do? And I went, bones.
Yep. And you mix it up. It makes it interesting. You know, one week we will get venison. Another week we'll get roux, or we'll get a different type of bone, or another time it's lamb necks, another time they think it's Christmas and they're getting something that's good for them.
Ours love emu femur as well. Have you tried
We've just discovered emu, and I swear to God, I thought they were going to pass out. They were so excited. We got emu leg bones from a raw feed supplier. First time we've ever had them, and they were just, oh my God.
And the neck.
Yes.
So we do emu femur and air dried emu neck. They love that too, and it's so crunchy, the sound of it. But
I know. But they love it, and it's just so good for them. I mean, it's a win-win. You're getting extra nutrients into their little bodies, and they're happy. They're like, oh, you're the best mum ever.
And it's as nature intended. This is what they're built to do. I mean, they all came from wolves initially,
Yeah.
no matter
It's
what
species
breed.
appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. Completely species appropriate for them. That's what they want to do. They want to chomp on things.
Yeah. And even
They
some
want
of
to
the
be.
plant matter as well, it doesn't have to be boring. Figure out what their favourites are. I mean, if I'm making a baked dinner or what have you, I will mash up a little bit of sweet potato or a little bit of pumpkin for them. They'll inhale it clean off the fork. It doesn't need to be mixed with meat or anything else. They love their veg.
Pumpkin is brilliant for them as well.
Hmm.
So good for their digestion. So high in carotenoids. So good. Yeah, I love carrots. Blueberries, we
Yes.
give them every day. They get blueberries every day, and they just
Hmm.
absolutely adore them. Yep.
No,
And
that's
then
one of
even
my favourite ingredients, actually. Not only because it's chock full of antioxidants and it's so good for them, it actually has some really, really useful actions topically as well. It actually removes tear stains and saliva stains from the fur.
there you go.
Yeah, so I've actually put that into a shampoo bar
Ooh,
and into a face mask for doggies because a lot of groomers do blueberry facials, and that's the reason it removes the tear stains and brightens the
that's
fur.
yeah, that's really good. I was
Mm,
just thinking, going back to your point earlier about making your own food, we used to do that too. So we'd make all our own raw food, chop it all up, make it all up into batches for the dogs. And we've
mm.
switched across to using, well, we use a bit of a combination because we have 3 brands here of frozen food, right?
Yeah.
So we mix it up a little bit. But the good thing about the pre-made ones is you can have a look at the ingredients and they've already got like turmeric in them. They've already got some psyllium in them. They've already got flaxseed in them. They've got the nutrients that are really going to help with their digestive tracts. And that's a baseline. From there, if you do have a dog, like we've had a few that have really sensitive stomachs that get ulcers and that sort of thing. I'm like, have you tried slippery elm?
Oh,
Very
so
simple.
good. So good. And
Yeah, right.
marshmallow is another good one that's great for the belly.
Yes, I've just ordered a new product because I was reading the ingredients the other day. A lady brought it in. I'm like, I have to have this because it's got ginger, it's got marshmallow, it's got slippery elm, it's got can't remember
Perfect.
what else, but it's got all of those in it. And I'm just like, I've been promoting slippery elm and sending people to the pharmacy because I know that they've got it.
Oh, yeah.
And pet slippery elm is actually really expensive for us to buy from our suppliers. So when I found this other one that already had that and the other ingredients in it, I'm like, getting that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's so many good products out there. And look, vets absolutely have their place. We take ours to a vet if it's got any issues or anything like that, absolutely have their place. But like doctors, they're not nutritionists, they're
No,
not naturopaths, they
nope,
don't know everything. And the
no.
same as breeders, we get a lot of people come in and go, oh, the breeder put me onto this product. I'm like,
Mm.
we don't keep that product. Why don't you keep that product? Because we don't believe in that product. Why? Have you read the ingredients? No, but the breeder told me that's what I have to have. That's because the breeder's sponsored by that product.
Either that or they just happen to like it personally, but again, it doesn't mean it's the best product moving forward.
So this is where it's about education and helping people, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Could not agree more. So
Yeah.
if there was one thing or one piece of advice, or it can be a couple, something that you really want more pet parents to know, what immediately jumps into your mind?
Read the ingredients. If it is a kibble that you're using, if it is not a real meat first, look elsewhere. If it says if the first ingredient is a carb, or the first ingredient is a byproduct, or the first ingredient is a meal, or
Yeah,
anything else like that, just find something better. If it's got a high carbohydrate content, find something better. So it should be high protein content, fat content. Dogs need protein and fat. That's what their body lives on. They process foods differently to us. They weren't born into a world, or nature for a dog isn't eating carbohydrates.
no,
Nature for us isn't eating breads and things. It's not. Nature for them is definitely not. They would pick at the ground, eat berries and stuff. They would kill and they would eat the meat. They would eat the insides. They would eat everything. So yeah, they get some fermented foods from that as well. So ingredients, even in your raw foods, read the ingredients, see what's really in it, and find something that suits the dog. Check for sensitivities. You can do hair sensitivity testing. We do bioresonance testing where we send it away, but we've got the ability to do bioresonance testing here. And that
Excellent.
just helps to get a bit more of an understanding of what is going on inside your dog's body and really listen to your dogs. Read the ingredients, educate yourself, whether that is finding someone, going into a store, like coming to Whiskies, of course, and chatting to us. Find someone with a knowledge base that you align with and can learn from and understand and really get to understand what we should be doing for our pets. Now, I'm not a trainer in any way, shape, or form. So we've just started taking our dogs to someone because I've always grown up, as I said, with dogs, taught them myself, done everything myself, never had a problem. They've been fine. We've got both rescues. One of them has a few challenges. That's out of my realm. And so I go to someone else. It's the same as the health of our pets. You can't be expected to know everything. So find the people who can help you, whether it is a nutritionist, whether it's a naturopath, whether it's a homeopath, whether it's a natural vet, whoever it is, find someone that can help you to give your pet the best life, because that's our job as pet parents. And
Couldn't
just
agree
do
more.
increment by increment. Doesn't have to be major changes. I've found when I was a personal trainer and through being a naturopath, that if you take someone and go, you have to change 90% of your lifestyle, that's not going to work. But
No.
if you go, okay, I'm going to change, say 5%, and I'm going to do that for a little bit of time. Then I'll change another 5%, and then I'll do that for a bit of time. Then I'll change. Eventually, you're 100% changed to what you want to be doing by these increments. It'll take longer, but if you go from here to here, you're more likely to go back. Whereas if you jump little bunny hops, you're more likely to get there.
Absolutely. And especially for pet parents who are new to this whole concept of raw and fresh feeding, it is an awful lot to get your head around. Whereas if you're suggesting something very simple, like just making one change at a time, it's very easy for people to get used to, and chances are they're going to do it. Whereas if you're trying to go from 0 to 100 in one step, people are going to decide it's all too much and it's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
That and the dog's reaction will be different too. Because if you go one day feeding them shitty kibble and then the next day you're 100% raw, that's not going to work with their digestive system
Yeah.
either. And then you're going to go, that gave it diarrhea. That made it do this. It
Mm.
doesn't agree with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
the
it's got to be a
increments
slow transition.
see the positive difference in your dog. And then you'll want to do more. And you'll want to do more because it makes such a difference to them. Such a positive difference. And we get people coming in all the time doing that, just going, I've changed to this food and my dog is like a different dog. It's got so much
Mhm.
more energy, so much happier. It's so much healthier. And yeah, it's loving life,
Yeah.
which is what we
No, it
want.
makes all the difference.
And they live longer and there's more vet bills. And we want our pets to stay around forever, ideally.
Exactly.
To stay around.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. That was so good. So many great nuggets in there for people. And we'd love to have you back to talk more.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to.